The Bayou. This is a brand new movie on Amazon. It was recommended, and it's 88 minutes long, and it came out in 2025. But I'll read the plot synopsis and we'll go from there. Vacation turns to disaster when a recent uh, college grad Cal and her friends escape a plane crash in the infamous desolate Louisiana Bayou, only to discover there's something way more dangerous lurking in the shallows. Now, this movie is basically about these people that decided to they was going to drive, but the girl that was with them, uh, basically young, they're all young in their early 20s. Yeah, the girls, one of their friends passed away in a robbery gone mad, and they wanted to dump his ashes in remembrance of him. So halfway through the trip, the girl surprised him by getting this cheap airplane ride, and the pilot, he was kind of like an alcoholic, so he didn't really. Uh, he was really a pilot, and his co-pilot was with him, but they did things like undercover stuff, like they wouldn't they didn't have their flight recorder on their black box and all that kind of stuff. So when they so no sooner as they took off in the air, they crashed like over in the Louisiana Bayou. And uh, before this movie starts, it opens up with uh, this illegal drug place in the bayous, and it showed how uh, the I don't know, the people that bust people for they were, it was a chemical lab deep in the bayou, and some agency came in there, and you know they put up a fight, and there was a bunch of gunfire and all that kind of stuff. Well, in the meantime, they had everybody was running out of the building, and people was fighting, and the these military, whatever, police officers that was going in to bust that place was shooting up the place because they told them to not shoot. And the people that was involved in the making the drugs and all that, they started shooting. So a lot of people got killed. Some of the girls that was working was running around, guys was running around, and as they were taking, as the SWAT team or whatever, the police that came in there to mess up this drug place that was, they must have found out that they was way in the Louisiana jungle, Bayou. They they stuff started leaking. They were shooting up chemicals and stuff they was making this drug. I don't know what drug that they was they were making, but it was something anyway. As they was taking, as the police, the whatever, I don't know what you call them, but they, each division has a different type of police agency. I don't know what you call them, but they go in there and bust these people they find out where they're at, but they know they're going to be some gunfire. So there was a lot of gunfire exchange, and while they did take that building over, but there was a lot of deaths. So the chemicals spilt into the ground, and then the alligators it got into the water. So the alligators was in the water. So obviously the water was contaminated with these drug chemicals, that was whatever drug that they were making. So the alligators was going crazy. They were killing a bunch of people. So the movie opens up with all these newspapers and reporters was talking about how there was 54 people killed so far, and the alligators are just going. The alligators was actually hunting people and all that kind of stuff. And the alligators, come find out, some of the alligators could run up to 24 miles per hour. So that's pretty fast for a big alligator. Some of these alligators was big. In the meantime, these people, a couple weeks later, they go on this vacation, and they thought they'd take a shortcut and take a plane, this plane, and this girl she got it for cheap. But sometimes, she bought everything cheap, so everything was not done right. So when they crashed the plane into the bayou, a couple people died in the plane crash, and then they all got to the land. But when they got to land, one of the co-pilots was come out of the water, and they seen an alligator eat him. Well, then when they realized when they talked to the pilot, the guy, it was kind of like a butthead. and they said, you know, the people on the plane, you know, when they was all on shore after the plane crashed and they was all freaked out, they were saying, well, you know, the black box is operating, you know, and we should be able to, you know, have a rescue team come and get us. And he was looking all kind of funny. And then they realized, they said, there is no rescue team. We didn't have the black box. He goes, yeah, you know, he was more or less telling them, you was paying for this, and this is, you know, I was cheap labor, and I'm doing everything kind of on the cheap. So they had to cross through the bayou, and these alligators were just had all them chemicals for whatever drug they were making in that drug bust. And so these alligators was picking them off. And so when I'm watching this movie, I'm sitting there saying to myself, I'm like, I'm probably not going to like this movie. But I have to say, this is worth a watch. This is worth a watch. If you want to watch something, it's got enough money in it to make it look like it was, you know, it was not cheap. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you know, it's a movie that you could tell that it was like not, sorry about my hand, not had enough budget. It had just enough budget to make it good. So I strongly recommend this. So it's just a short video. Sometimes I sit around, you know, and I watch a movie. And, you know, I drop movies about video games. I drop movies about stuff that's going on with the video world. I drop stuff about going on in the movie industry. And I like to talk about movies. Like I told you guys, I like to talk about video games. I like to talk about video games I'm playing. I like to talk about game systems that are coming out, or what's selling, what did not sell, what game that might be exciting to play. And I sit around and I watch movies every now and then. And this movie, I strongly recommend. Now, 33 people watched this movie and it's got 3 stars. I would give it a 3-star. I would give it kind of like a 3.5, because I was thinking that I was not going to get into this movie. I was thinking that, because see, the other day I was watching the movie and I thought it was going to be good. And it got midway at the end, and I was like, this movie really dropped the ball. It dropped the ball, but this movie didn't drop the ball at all. It was well made for what budget they had to deal with, and yeah, this is worth a watch. And this is under suspense and horror. Now, you know, my favorite alligator movie is the one about when the girl was caught in the storm and she went to go check on her dad. I can't think of it. My name went blank. That is my favorite alligator movie. But this one here, I like movies like this, and yeah, it's a good movie. You know, you know, a lot of cast is unknown. You know, you ain't got no big major stars, but for what they worked with and what they had, I strongly recommend. So if you in the mood to watch a movie and you ain't looking for anything like extraordinary and you just want to chill like I'm chilling tonight and watch a movie like this, I strongly recommend this movie. So we'll catch you in the next video. We'll see you.